Hey, I'm Bob, and this is my project for right now. We're putting cab corners on this old 51 Ford, another one of my projects. And what we're basically doing is just making a new cab corner. And it's easier to work with cardboard, and I call this CAD, cardboard assisted drawings. So basically what I'm doing is I made the shape, and I'll take this now and bring it over here and put it on a piece of metal, kind of like that. So at this point we find a device and trace this out. Sharpie would work way much better, but I tend to use whatever I've got in my hand at the time. Something like that. Okay, Charles, it's going to get loud. This is an old wood bandsaw that was converted to metal. Sometimes it doesn't like it. Okay, seeing now we've got that shape made, let's look at this and see if it remotely resembles, which I guess it did. This is a metal brake for bending material. Okay, right there should be about 90 degrees, and now about there should be 90 degrees. Let's go a little more. Yep. Alrighty, 90 degrees. Just bend it just like that. Here is the piece, which will need a little bit of trimming, but for the most part, I think it's going to work. So after a little bit of beating and manipulating and stuff, I guess we will have a functioning part. I'm rescribing. I'm going to take a little bit of metal off because it's slightly oversized. And as for that area, there is definitely a little more metal than we need. Okay, as you can see, instead of using that noisy piece of equipment, we'll use this noisy piece of equipment. Getting very hot. In fact, way too hot to handle right now. Okay. We've got a semi-functionable piece here. It's entirely too hard to be touching. So, see how much nicer it fits and everything? This here will be hand dressed after it's put on, but we're working on simulating a original component. So while this is cooling off, we'll move on to something a little more productive. Now, I'll get me a piece of cardboard and I will hold it up here. Resimulate this existing shape. and we will cut this out. Most people use scissors. I will use this primarily because I just simply happen to have it in hand. Yeah. See, this has to be shaped out or cut out. This will need to be cut about right here. And then this will need to be cut like about through there. And okay, let's start making some noise. We will straighten this piece that's bent. And we will make some fireflies. Trying to create a strategic cut here. Okay, I'm just shaping this corner. Guess you could call it just roughing it out for now. That thing should just fall off there, but it's not being real user friendly. And these really hurt when you step on them. So, and the scrap it went. Okay, now we can use this a little better for our template. Now, as you can see, I'm able to get in closer to mimic the shape I'm after. So, click. This is a 1951 Ford that, like the Power Wagon, has been extremely modified. We're updating the drivetrain on this one significantly, attempting to make it more like a modern vehicle. So, and now we are going to recreate the shape. The drama car people, you'll find them using a small hammer and making it look real tedious. For the most part, I like to use a real hammer and get the job done. Okay, it's kind of starting to look like something now.
Here.
This is the bottom of the pickup or the cab. Not something you'll ever see, but it's important to me, to whether you see it or not. It literally replacing the metal with heavier metal than it originally had in it. If it worked before, it'll work better being made heavier. There, now we got a really cool looking tack weld that looks authentic or period. So I'm going to finish welding this in. Yep, it's pretty amazing that doing something like this, you can literally have hours, and very few people can appreciate. Again, channel lock works fine for a hammer. If you're in a pinch. I'm going to put a few more tacks out through there. Try to get that to hold up while I've got a hole here. The reason we go out through and make a multitude of little tacks is so it doesn't warp, which warpage is not a body man's friend. Okay, I've simply just put a series of tacks through there, and then if I try to weld that all in one pass, it would warp extremely bad. As you can see, I've got this hole here, and I welded this chunk which is mimicking the rest of this original looking metal. With this, it enables me to get inside and I can manipulate the metal. With this being 2 plies, it's not possible for me to get anything back in there to support it while you're hitting it. So as you can see, I'm able to still manipulate it a little bit. I'm real satisfied with the shape that's coming out of this. It won't take very much body filler at all to make it look very presentable. What kills me is I've got a really, really nice English wheel and some pretty doggone nice metalworking tools at the shop.
Yeah.
They're a pain.
Oh, they're done.
Just here by hand, just hacking and whacking and beating and smacking, and just using what you've got in your hand to work with, you tend to, or I tend to make a great deal better time. Especially trying to fit in or do this type of small detail work. Okay, here we go. It's starting to take shape now. I'm Bob, and I appreciate you hanging out. Please like my channel and have a great day, a pleasant day, a happy day. Just have a good day.